For today's practice, we will be using a bolster. You can also use a couch cushion. And we'll begin with simple cat-cows, but I want you to place your hands on that bolster. And what this does is help you isolate the upper body, that thoracic spine, which is what we are trying to elongate and create space in. So really moving with your breath here. If this is the first time you've moved all day, just deep inhales as you look up and strong exhales as you round and curve your spine. And moving with your own breath here at your own pace. And now we're going to come into downward facing dog. So I want you to place your hands on the opposite side of the bolster. And you might have to adjust yourself here. So curling your toes, pushing your hips back to come into downward facing dog. So you'll notice that that bolster is going to help take a little bit of the weight out of the upper body. So the top of my head is resting on the bolster there, as are my forearms. And again, this actually just helps me isolate the movement of the shoulders and just create more space in the back of the body, the hamstrings, and also that lumbar spine. From here, just setting the knees down and coming into a child's pose. And the bolster is supporting my forearms and my forehead. This takes a little bit of getting used to if you haven't done this before, but I highly encourage using the bolster and doing this flow. So I'm coming back into downward facing dog. Forearms and forehead are on the bolster. And this doesn't have to be static. You can pedal your dog out. You can move from left to right with your hips. I just want you to feel what the space in between your shoulder blades is doing. Then coming back into child's pose, moving with my breath, exhaling into child's pose. Forearms and forehead on the bolster. Inhaling, coming back into downward facing dog. And as you loosen up your hamstrings, you'll notice it becomes easier and easier to rest your head on the bolster, which also allows the neck, that cervical spine, to fully relax. So we're letting gravity do the work. Remembering to breathe. And exhaling, coming down into child's pose. And now inhaling, we're going to bring that bolster right to our low back. So turning around, bringing that bolster to just the tip of the shoulder blades. So we're allowing that upper body to kind of waterfall over this bolster. I like to take a nice cactus arms, so a 90-degree angle with my elbows. If that feels like too much on the shoulders, you can also give yourself a hug by placing one hand on one shoulder, the other hand on the other shoulder. Just working with where your body is at today. What we don't want is any pinching in the front of the shoulder blades or anything that feels like a sharp sensation. And we're going to be here for a little bit, so making yourself nice and comfortable. Settling into your breath. And on your next inhale, bending your knees, placing the feet flat on the floor, bringing opposite hand to opposite shoulder, so giving yourself a hug here. And then I want you to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. This allows a nice twisting motion for the lumbar spine, and you will feel how the thoracic and the lumbar spine are moving independently here. So this should feel really, really good. Doing this just a few times and then rolling over onto one side. Just taking a moment to pause. Let all of that sensation relax into your body before using that top arm and pushing yourself back up to seated. From here, I'm going to grab that bolster and we're going to come into a forward fold. So I like to use the tall edge of my bolster. So I stack it up pretty high here. I let my feet relax and I just gently round forward. And if this feels too intense on the neck or the upper body, just simply stack another block or another pillow. This is less about coming down towards your toes and more about just lengthening that upper back. And I want you to place your palms face up and drag your elbows back towards your ribs. So this will subtly open up the collarbones. We don't want to be too rounded forward in our shoulders. So I'm just letting the floor simply support my arms. And really remembering to breathe here. You might feel this all the way down towards your feet, the legs, the hamstrings. And we're just letting gravity do the work. And we'll be here for a minute or two, so making sure to keep yourself comfortable. Again, we want to kind of rub noses with our edge, but we don't want to be so far into a pose that we can't relax or come out of it safely. And now on your next inhale, using your hands to push yourself back up to seated, I want you to stack your vertebrae one by one, nice and slow. And then we'll take that bolster, bring it behind us right at our low back. and simply lower ourselves down onto that bolster so it's supporting the spine. From here, we'll take a gentle Shavasana. You can keep your legs extended out long, or like I'm doing here, I like to bring the soles of my feet together so I'm in a nice reclined butterfly. And part of a successful yoga practice is taking a successful Shavasana. So I think that many of us don't spend long enough in this pose. Letting the mind quiet, returning to your natural breath, and letting all of that movement we just did settle into the body and the nervous system. And beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And inhaling your arms up overhead, bringing your knees together and gently rolling over onto one side. Taking a moment to pause here, coming back into your body in order to start your day.